Chapter 9. And all these things did my father see and hear and speak as he dwelt in a tent in the valley of Lemuel, and also a great many more things which cannot be written upon these plates. So Nephi says that his father basically, he said a lot of things, he did a lot of things, he spoke a lot of things, but he did so much, in fact, that there isn't room to write those things on these plates. Second verse says, "And now, as I have spoken concerning these plates, behold, they are not the plates upon which I make a full account of the history of my people. For the plates upon which I make a full account of my people, I have given the name of Nephi. Wherefore, they are called the plates of Nephi, after mine own name, and these plates are also called the plates of Nephi." Nephi basically makes two sets of records, okay? The bigger plates and the smaller plates. Both of them, each one of them is called the plates of Nephi. The smaller plates have the sacred things. So he writes only the things that are pertaining to God, things that are pertaining to the Nephites and their descendants and their spiritual practice. That's all on the smaller plates. The bigger plates basically have a history of the people and what happened to them over the years, wars that they undertook, etc., etc. Nevertheless, I have received a commandment of the Lord that I should make these plates for the special purpose that there should be an account engraven of the ministry of my people. So upon the other plates should be engraven an account of the reigns of the kings and the wars and the contentions of my people. Wherefore these plates are for more part of the ministry, and the other plates are for more part of the reign of kings and the wars and the contentions of my people. Then he says, "Wherefore the Lord has commanded me to make these plates for a wise purpose in him, which purpose I know not." So he says clearly that the Lord has asked him to make these plates, these two sets of plates. Nephi doesn't know why the Lord has asked him to do it, but he does it, knowing that the Lord has asked him to do it, and having faith that the reason that the Lord has asked him to do it is because he's got some deeper meaning, some deeper purpose to it, which Nephi at the moment doesn't understand. Ponder this. Nephi does what the Lord asks him to do, even though he couldn't see why, even though it looked like it was going to be extra work, even though it didn't make sense to him at that moment, even though he thought that the double plates were just double work, probably in his head. He still did what the Lord asked him to do. How can we be like Nephi? "But the Lord knoweth all things from the beginning, wherefore he prepareth the way to accomplish all his works among the children of men. For behold, he hath all power unto the fulfilling of all his works. And thus it is. Amen." He does what God tells him to do, and he also encourages us to do the same thing, saying that God knows everything. He creates a way for people to accomplish his work. Even though we may not see it right now, he's constantly creating a way for the future. And he tells us to do the things. He tells us to do the things that we don't understand because of his foresight in thinking and planning for the future. And he states that the Lord knows this. The Lord understands and is able to have foresight, is able to look far into the future and know what is going to be required at a later stage. And this is why when he asks you to do something, you should do it without questioning or without thinking about why.